The Atlantic Sun Conference and the Western Athletic Conference have teamed up to form the ASUN-WAC, an alliance that will eventually become an FBS conference. A couple of teams from 2022 have already departed, so I'll just be showing the teams that will be featuring in 2023. Anyway, enough rambling, let's check out the ASUN-WAC stadiums. Tom Braley Municipal Stadium, North Alabama Lions. That's not a typo, this place is named after a man named Tom Braley, who was the principal and football coach of the adjacent high school. The high school team also plays here, of course. And yeah, come to think of it, compared to most of the stadiums in this conference, this stadium does have a bit of a high school football look to it. The stands are made up entirely of plain metal benches, they are perfectly straight, and don't have much of a facade to speak of. But simple isn't necessarily bad. Estes Stadium, Central Arkansas Bears. Before we get to the elephant in the room, let's talk about the stadium's grand brick facade. So many bricks, and a decent amount of mortar as well. Good stuff. Okay, now onto the field. It's not the first to deviate from the standard green colour scheme that grass is known for, but it's the only Division I college football stadium to adopt a grey with purple stripes arrangement. I think it looks kinda cool, but I wonder if the change in colour is distracting, to the players that is. I guess if anything it adds to the Bears' home field advantage. Either way, it's certainly distinctive. Forterra Stadium, Boston P. Governors. Can you guess the nickname given to this stadium? It is of course the Fort, no surprises there. Flooding is a common problem at stadiums. This place however has suffered at the hands of a different natural phenomenon. Around 10 years ago a sinkhole opened up just outside the bounds of the field. That has since been repaired and the place is looking pretty good. I especially like that governor logo that appears on the field as well as the exterior. He is looking suave as, well, I don't know, but he's definitely more suave than the current Tennessee governor. Mate, you don't have to have a mustache, top hat and monocle, but pick one at the very least. Roy Kidd Stadium, Eastern Kentucky Colonels. For whatever reason, I seem to have a thing for lopsided stadiums, whether it be St. James's Park in England or, well, Roy Kidd Stadium in Kentucky. You might initially be thinking that they have perhaps taken it a bit too far here, but there is a good reason for it. They've made use of the space within the stand by including a bunch of classrooms and gymnasiums within. I'd imagine it would be kinda daunting for those sitting in the visitors stand, yet awe-inspiring at the same time. Other than that, I appreciate the less imposing grass berm to the north, which seems like a nice relaxing place to watch the game. Wildcat Stadium, Abilene Christian Wildcats. This remarkable stadium was built from scratch on the site of their old stadium a few years back. The difference between the old and new is chalk and cheese, this being the cheese. Speaking of which, like an aged cheddar, this stadium's design is quite sharp, consisting of an angular seating layout that optimizes sightlines, a pristine grass berm, a sizable video board, and by college football standards a very futuristic looking exterior. Doesn't get much better than that in FCS football. Eccles Coliseum, Southern Utah Thunderbirds. From above, this seems like quite a basic multi-purpose horseshoe stadium, and yeah, I suppose it is. But there are actually some rather extravagant looking features beyond the southern end zone, some of which are reflective of the stadium's ancient inspired name. I suppose they're not technically part of the stadium, and neither is the beautiful backdrop of these sunburnt mountains. But it's all part of the spectator experience. Greater Zion Stadium, Utah Tech Trailblazers. This place is actually sponsored by a vacation destination. Hiking, mountain biking, golf, and more. Greater Zion is Utah's premier destination for those with an appreciation of the outdoors. Visit greaterzion.com to learn more. There you go, 85 cents of advertising absolutely free. 'Tis the season of giving after all. Anyway, Utah Tech Stadium might not have much in the way of tech, but it's a decent enough venue. As you may have seen from the aerial shots, there was only one stand, but they recently built a new one. So now there are 2 stands. Home of Bryce Stadium, Stephen F. Austin Lumberjacks. It might sound odd, but a small part of why I love stadiums so much is the well-manicured grass on show. In American football, the field is often fake, as is the case here. But this place makes up for that with a remarkable landscaping surrounding it. This is an almost entirely earthen stadium, with just a bit of concrete here and there. To top it off, there is even a bit of hedge work to the north. It's not lacking on the man-made stuff though, it has one of the largest video boards in the FCS. Memorial Stadium, Tarleton Texans. Just like the first one we saw, this stadium has undergone some major redevelopments in recent years, and still is. Although I guess you'd class it as an expansion rather than a new stadium built from scratch. The double-tiered main stand is complete, and eventually there will be a large amount of seating behind one of the end zones. Once it's all done, this will be the largest stadium in the conference. They're keeping the track though, so that's not ideal. So, there you have it. Not so whack after all. Thanks for watching, have a good one.